Before this video gets started, do not forget to subscribe because there are going to be a lot of videos coming out this year and I want you guys to be a part of it, so subscribe. Look alive, sunshine, and welcome to a movie review, John Wick Chapter 2. Everybody was very hyped for John Wick Chapter 2. I didn't know why. I've never seen the first one, so I watched the first one. It was okay. I guess it was a good action movie. I don't watch action movies that much, so I don't know what to go off of. But it's your standard action movie. You expect what you get, and you get what you expect. So there's nothing really to the first one really. But then number 2 comes in, John Wick Chapter 2, and then it just brings in a very cool mythology that we've never seen really before in any action movies, or at least the ones that I've seen. So this movie is about basically there's like on notes, like on my notes, it's just like bring up the plot, bring this up, blah blah blah, and like just go off the plot and just like build stuff around that for the review. But you can't build off plots with an action movie. They're just not there really, because action movies shine where their movie title comes in, action. They shine in action, and this movie was no different. So like the plot was like Keanu Reeves has to take down just these bad people that hired him to do a bad thing. Not hired him, they kind of like forced him into doing it. But I don't want to spoil anything because this is a non-spoiler review. So basically, what you expect, and then it's just like he just shoots people. So that's the plot. But the mythology kind of carries if you want to look at it in a way from the first one to the second one. If you watch the first one, pay close attention to that word mythology once you go see the second one, because it kind of it carries in more than even most good movies. A lot of movies, like a lot of sequels, don't carry that nice flow to them, but this one really does that well. For some reason, I don't know why, that was just something that I noticed and people brought up to me. So the main problem I had with the movie is the plot, and just knowing that I was sitting there with a bunch of old men surrounding me, because those are the movies that they like. And just knowing that is the plot that they enjoy, not having to think, and just not just watching shoot 'em up films basically. So the plot wasn't anything original, but like I said, I'm not gonna focus on the plot. Let's not focus on the plot. Let's move on to something that this movie shines at. Now the action is done very well. A lot of people, a lot of movies don't pay attention to hand-to-hand combat. A lot of TV shows and movies, I guess, just don't have the budget, just don't care, and just think that people just want to see guns. But when you have a really cool fight scene with hand-to-hand, it ends up being really cool. Like Arrow Season 1 and Season 2 before it got really bad in Season 3. Those are just amazing fight scenes, and you find them very rarely. This one, it didn't have the best fight scenes. It not like to classify a good hand-to-hand combat scene is how fast it is, how precise the movements are. And this one had really precise movements. It had really good, real world, fight scenes. Like Arrow and everything, they used bow and arrows, and they used a bunch of stuff to where it kind of looks unnatural. Like a lot of things with good hand-to-hand combat have swords in it for some reason, and swords just don't make sense with real life. So this one had just real life, hand-to-hand, just literally hand-to-hand. So they really paid attention to that, and I'm really proud of them for sticking to hand-to-hand combat, because without it, it just kind of falls flat with just guns. So the guns were also a cool part about it. The guns, are just if you're somebody that could just sit back and just forget about what's really going on and just watch the movie and see his moves that he's making. I thought there was a ghost looking at me for a second, so that's why I looked over there. But if you just sit back and relax and just watch, it's really cool, some of the things that he does with his guns, and just some of the ways that he moves, and just I'm sure people put time into it. So I really want to give credit to them, because the gun movements and everything was really good. And that's what I said earlier, action movies shine with action, and action did come in this movie very well. Now, the acting, don't know anybody in it besides Keanu Reeves, and I knew him from The Matrix, so I knew him in his younger days, a long time ago. So I didn't know what to expect from John Wick, especially 1, but going into 2, I basically knew everything about John Wick, because a lot of people were excited about it, but this is just about their acting. This segment of the video is about their acting. The acting is just, the acting can only be as good as the script, and the script is only as good as the plot, and the plot is not good in a way that say a really good movie would be. A high score on Rotten Tomatoes would be, because this movie is an action flick, and I don't care that. So Like, I don't care about I like the difference. I'm just saying that I like action movies and I like Oscar nominated movies and I like all kinds of movies. But like the acting in this one, of course, wasn't the main priority, so it wasn't the best. And you kind of just some of the lines are cliche, and it was just like really like kind of weird. But it's kind of like I said, just get past it, and then you can watch really cool action scenes, and then you're good to go from there. So the acting was nothing special, like, it really complemented the action, and the lines really complemented what was going on in the movie, which I thought was cool because like a lot of movies, like I said, a lot of movies for some reason just dip out of some points, and like this one obviously dipped out by the script and everything, but like movies go for their genre, like that's their top priority instead of making everything their top priority, if you know what I mean. So like acting in this wasn't top of the line, but it's passable. It's a pass. The last thing I want to talk about is the framing and the cinematography and the whole like all around like feel aesthetic of it, because it was really like a really like different like aesthetic. Like if you don't know what that is, just like look at Ghost in the Shell, and it's basically like the tone of the film, and it just like Ghost in the Shell has like a really good aesthetic to it. And like just like looking at this, you get a feel of just like the dark, the guns, the shooting, the money, the women, whatever, and just like the cinematography really was like more than I expected from movies, because usually like Fast and Furious, which are like the only action films that I watch for some reason, I don't know, but like it's just follow the car. Follow the car. Maybe a cool like shot every once in a while, but this one had really cool shots because in the end scene, it was like that Gotham episode where they're in that fun house with all the mirrors. It was a mirror palace, basically, and that just gave a lot of opportunities for really funny, not funny, but really cool shots. So the cinematography was really well, the framing was very well, and the all around like feel of the movie. Like I like movies with tones like that. I can't talk, but movies with tones like that are really really cool. Just because of just like I said, Oscar season. I didn't say this. I thought it like when I was thinking about this review. Oscar nominated movies are in full swing now. I'm catching up on all of them, and just like just going back to an action movie. Like I've said with my TV reviews before. After Westworld and after Mr. Robot and after Game of Thrones and after everything, it's nice to watch Riverdale just because you could just watch it. The movie was 3 out of 5 stars for me. A lot of people disagree with that. I don't know why people find like people find stuff to like stand all the time, and they probably for a good reason. There are probably things in this movie and John Wick's storyline and the other movie, the first one, that I just don't see. I just entry level film reviewer, and a lot of people do see it, and a lot of people have icons on Twitter for it, and a lot of people will defend it. And I asked people on Twitter, why do people like it so much, and they told me like the cinematography and the framing and the mythology. So shout outs to them for bringing all that to my attention so I can like look deeper into it. So it was like a 3 out of 5, probably because an old man sat next to me, not next to me, but it was me, seat, and then him, and then he breathed so loud. He breathed so loud. It was like I was gonna punch him in the nose just to like open up his airway, because it was every few seconds, and it was it's so annoying. Like in the theater, I almost made a note on my phone, look up how much it is to rent out a whole movie theater for yourself, because like they have that like thing at my theater where you can get like the party, like the birthday party deal where you get a theater, and I don't know like if that they allow you to play any movies only showing there at that time, I don't know. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna like if I was ever rich, I would just rent out. If it was like it's probably like $200, and like I would just rent out a whole theater and just watch my movie right there, because it's just people are so annoying, especially on Sunday when I went. So let me know what you guys thought about John Wick Chapter 2. Let me know if you're gonna go see it because of this review. And that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.